The Lightning Temple is part of the regional phenomena questline where we get to help out Riju and her troubles in Gerudo Town, down there in the southwest of Hyrule. Today, I'm going to walk through how to solve the mirror puzzles, plus how to defeat the Gibdos, and eventually take down the final boss in one of my favourite temples, in Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at how to get to the Lightning Temple. So while I'm going to focus on beating the Lightning Temple here today, to get there, you want to make your way to Gerudo Town in the southwest and complete the quest, Riju of Gerudo Town. So here you're going to be battling against Gibdos with Gerudo Town under siege. That is a very cool set piece moment in the game, and when you've completed this, it's time to take on the Lightning Temple. So let's have a look at Lightning Temple preparation. So it's always a good idea to stock up on food, a good amount of fused weapons, plus loads of arrows. So Gibdos often attack in this dungeon and they are weak to elemental arrow attacks. So fire fruit or shock fruit are very, very good, as well as different chew-chew jellies. All of this fused to arrows is going to help you take out those Gibdos nice and quickly. So when you are prepared and ready, then use Riju's lightning ability to attack the Gibdo cocoon in the middle and let the Lightning Temple begin. Well, normally the boss fight is at the end of the temple, but this one mixes things up very nicely and you get a taste of the boss fight early on. So the key is to use Riju's electric abilities and fire arrows towards the Queen Gibdo as she is firing tornadoes at you constantly, so you'll make sure you step out of the way of those. So hit the Queen twice with arrows and lightning attacks from Riju, and from then the Queen will run away, leaving you to start the Lightning Temple. Okay, so next up we want to enter the Lightning Temple, so use Riju's lightning attack on the pink blob blocking the entrance, and you can kill the Gibdo nest before you make your way inside, and you want to attack this with lightning attacks with Riju when it is glowing. So make your way into the temple. You're going to find a Korok frond and a torch. The torch is useful to see where you're going, and the Korok frond is good for blowing away piles of sand, often revealing secrets or loot. So clear away the sand in the middle of the room, and you're going to find a switch to open the door. So grab a torch and light it. It's not essential in this dungeon, but it's going to help you see. Keep going, and you're going to get to a room with two bridges over some pits and jump over into the second pit. You'll fight a Gibdo, kill them, and you get a large Zonai charge as a reward. So send upwards and then continue on. Next up, you want to use Ultra Hand on the bricks and open up these small rooms. So defeat the Gibdo for more loot. This time it's a topaz. Go back into the room with the flames. They're coming out the wall, but be careful because the floor is going to drop from under your feet. Take out the two Gibdo. One way to do this is by blowing them into the fire with the Korok frond, or you can use elemental arrows, but once they are dead, however you killed them, go back and jump into that hole again. Use Ultra Hand to pick up the stone slab and place it on the flooring that fell down. Then get the loot, but do watch out for those keys. So use Recall on the floor to send it and the stone slab upwards, and then use one of the slabs to block the fire spitting out the wall. That allows Link to go through without being burnt to a crisp. Step on the switch to turn off the flames and Riju will follow you through. In the next room, a flame boulder is falling down towards you and you can use Recall on it to send it back from where it came from. Step on the switch once again and Riju will come through. Then make your way forward and take out the Gibdo in the room. Take out the Gibdo nest and then pick up the slabs in the middle for a Gerudo bow. Then make your way up the stairs to the Room of Hopeful Light. Once you make it into the Room of Hopeful Light, your first job is to take out the construct. Then pick out the mirror from the sand using Ultra Hand or blow away the sand with the Korok frond. Watch out for that hidden construct next to the sand, but if he does pop out, just take him out as per usual. Go through the hole in the wall and get the chest, and then the floor is going to fall away, but you can use Recall to get back up inside. Inside that chest, you're going to find a mighty construct bow, so get back up into the Room of Hopeful Light and then reflect the light onto the target above the door. The door is then going to open, and then you're going to want to go up the stairs into the Room of Ascension, interact with the altar in the middle, and now you finally have your fast travel point. So next up, we are in the Room of Ascension. This is basically your central hub for this temple. So similar to other temples in Tears of the Kingdom, you have to power up a number of items. This time we have to power up 4 batteries using Riju's lightning abilities, so you don't have to complete them in a set order. You can tackle them any way you see fit. The order that I lay out today is just a suggested order, but not something you strictly have to adhere to. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the first battery. So your first destination is very close to your starting point. It is right behind the altar where you learned about the charged up batteries. So go into the room, move the boulders with Ultra Hand, and go into the room with the battery and interact with Riju to use her abilities. Now that one is nice and easy as an introduction, and when you're finished, go back into the main room. Next up, let's have a look at the second battery. So first of all, we have to remove a boulder that is blocking the air current and move this with Ultra Hand. And that is going to allow you to get to the floors above using your paraglider. So head up the airflow and follow the route on screen. And here you're going to find a tunnel with 2 wheels turning. So use recall on one of the wheels and then line them up so they both have the same pattern of rotation. Go through the turning wheels and then use Ultra Hand to remove the rocks. That allows the light to shine through. The light then hits the statue, and you want to go to it and step on the revealed switch and go into the new room. Then use Ultra Hand to move the boulders into the spikes so Link can pass through safely, and step on the switch, allow Riju to join you and then go straight ahead. Use Ultra Hand to jam the mechanism on the right, again allowing Link to get through, and then go through and take out the construct in the next room. So jump down and pick up the stakes with Ultra Hand and use the stakes on that wall so the spinning stops, allowing the light to get through to the target. This bit can be a little bit tricky and it may take a few goes, but you will definitely get it with practice. Use the mirror close by to reflect the light onto the target, then ascend back up and use the mirror on the bridge and redirect the light across the hall. Now you can use Riju's abilities to charge up the second battery, and after this, head back into the main room where we started. Okay, next up we have the third battery, so we want to use the air current again to go all the way up to the top and fight the construct between the 2 torches to get to the Room of Natural Light. So use Ultra Hand on the boulder on the wall and get the mirror from inside, and put the boulder and the mirror together using Ultra Hand under the light. Then go back out of the Room of Natural Light and use Ultra Hand on the statues, holding mirrors so they line up and they shoot that beam of light out of the Room of Natural Light and downwards. This is going to cause the light to hit a statue below where you can glide down to and get into the Room of Offered Light. This room has a Gibdo and a few constructs, so basically you want to do as per usual and take them all out. Remember, Gibdos are weak to elemental arrow attacks, so use Riju's abilities or fused arrows. Once you've taken out the enemies, you want to create a Zonai creation with a balloon, a torch, a light and a grate. So the idea was to float up and aim the light at a target to power it up. And once you've done that, it's going to reveal the battery, which you can then charge up with Riju's abilities. When that is complete, you want to head back down into the main hall. Well, next up we got the fourth battery, so next one will go all the way back up to the top again, and by now we should have the light and the statues bouncing the light into the Room of Offered Light. If not, then go back and repeat the steps at the start of the third battery instructions, and our objective here is to move the statue so it doesn't intercept the light. So move the 2 statues you didn't interact with last time so the light bounces up above you, and one of the statues is going to be blocked by a pile of sand, so get up there. You can use the airflow and you can climb and use that Korot frond to blow the sand away. So once you've done that, the light will get up to where it needs to be. Well, now you're going to be able to make your way up to the highest floor of the Lightning Temple, so use that air current to boost you up to the floor and climb the rest of the way. And then, once you're through, jump down the hole with the fire and avoid it as you paraglide down. When you land, you're going to be in the Room of Light and Flame, so step on that switch and take out the constructs. Riju is then going to appear and you can use her abilities to power up the battery, and then finally make your way back into the main hall. Well, that is it for the batteries, but next up let's have a look at how to beat the Queen Gibdo final boss. So now you've powered up all the batteries, you can access the lift up to the 7th floor or the boss room. So use Riju's abilities to hit the Gibdo cocoon and the battle begins. This boss can be tricky, so make sure you've got plenty of arrows and a decent melee weapon. So use Riju's attacks to deal damage to the Queen, and when she's hit, she's going to turn white. Then you can run in there and attack. Keith's arrows are good for homing attacks here, given she moves around a lot and she can be quite tricky to hit. At the halfway mark, this is where things get serious and the Gibdo nests become active and start spawning more enemies to deal with, so use the beams of light to help you take out these smaller enemies and focus on the Queen. Take out the towers with Riju's abilities and then focus back on the Queen and use Riju's abilities to stun her, and then run in there and use your highest value melee weapon to take out the Queen. Once you've taken her out, then it's time to collect the heart container, and after a cutscene you're going to get Riju's ability for using out there in Hyrule on your adventures. Well, congratulations, you have completed the Lightning Temple, and let me know in the comments what you think about that Lightning Temple. That is it for this guide for the Lightning Temple in Tears of the Kingdom. As always, thank you so much for watching or listening. Well, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.